I got you on my mind. That's a vibe. That's a vibe.
Hey, Slow Jams fam. You're invited to Behind the Vibe, the place where we're going beyond the music to get into the heart and soul of R&B artists, whether they're already on your playlist or they're about to be. I'm your host, Tati, and I'm so excited to be giving you a front row seat to bring you closer to the music and the artists that are behind it. And today we're going behind the vibe with an artist who's on the rise and who's been turning ears and heads in the R&B scene. So let's get into it. Please welcome the one and only Jenifer. How are
W
you?
W intro. W intro. That lit. That was so
I would hope so. It's such an honor to have you with us. Like I said, the Slow Jams fan, we are such fans of you, and we are so happy to go behind the vibe with you so that we can put you out there and learn more about who you are, so more people can get this artistry that you got going on here.
appreciate that, man. Thank y'all for having me. It's a blessing to be here, man, and I'm honored to be able to, talk to y'all about what I got going on.
Oh yeah, we're so excited. All right, so let's get right into it. So Shay, I really want to start at the beginning. I want to know, what is your R&B origin story? Like, what or who introduced you to R&B music that made you fall in love with it?
R&B specifically. So like I always been around just singers. I grew up in the church, so that's a lot of singers background, man. We all grew up something about the name Jesus. We all,
Hallelujah.
I'm saying? So being in church my whole life definitely helped just kind of cultivate my love for singing and just music in general.
Mhm.
But R&B specifically, I remember the exact moment too. I'm playing GTA. I think I'm in like sixth grade. Don't ask me why I was playing GTA in sixth grade. I have no idea.
No judgment.
My parents ain't know though, so it ain't they fault. I'm playing GTA though. My sister comes running in my room. She's like, "Shade, you gotta come see this." And I'm like, what is she? What could be so important that she's pulling me off my game to come see? And it was Chris Brown, when he had first came out, first debuted back in 2006. So, I love music. She knew that. So, the dude coming out, he dancing, he singing, he got all the moves going, and that was like my first introduction into like R&B that wasn't like anything gospel per se. And I kind of fell in love with just the genre and R&B music after that. Like I started deep diving out after Chris. I found out about like Usher, Mike, just a bunch of different legends. I just started diving into the genre, man, and that's really what got me into this space of being an artist. So yeah.
I love that. And we're going to talk more about that too. And by the way, I'm representing Mike Jack on the shirt today.
The GOAT.
Yes, love it, love it, love it. So you said you grew up in the church. So how did you discover your gift for singing? Was it in the pulpit? Was it in the choir? Was you in the Sunshine Band?
It was actually, yes, I was in the children's choir. My parents threw me in there 'cause they knew I could sing. Really, like I've always kind of been able to sing because both of my parents sing too. So
Oh,
they be singing around the house or just singing. They sang on the praise team. My dad is mad talented. He played the keys. My mother has a beautiful voice. So like just being around them kind of pick up on it. So I kind of was just adapt to it early on. And I kind of knew I could sing like when I was like 4 years old.
yeah.
So yeah, man, they would throw me in the choir, the children's choir, had me singing all the time. And then again, I would just do it on my own time too, because I liked it. I enjoyed it and
Mhm.
figured out I was kind of good at it early. So
That's
yeah.
good. That's good. So you was in the Sunshine Band, huh? So did you have the type of parents, being as if your parents were in the church, that they wouldn't let you sing R&B music, like anything that wasn't gospel was off limits?
Oh no. They music lovers too. So they would I would hear some songs that weren't always Christian, here and there. But it was definitely more Christian than secular. So
Yeah.
it was trying to keep me away from the world because it's wicked out here.
No, absolutely, because I don't know if you saw, but that clip that went viral with Jermaine Dupri, where he was saying that R&B can't R&B as much anymore because many of the singers weren't raised in the church, so they don't
Right.
have that vocal agility like the old singers of old had. Right. So that's great that you grew up in the church, because I mean, it's already evident for those who are just getting introduced to Shay. When you listen to his music, you can hear it in his voice. So that's amazing. All right. So I read that your first big break came through a radio contest in DC, right? Is that true?
It did. Yeah.
Okay. What was that experience like?
Yeah, man. So like around 11th grade in high school.
Ooh.
High school, 11th grade, I kind of figured out that I wanted to be a singer, like, as a career. I had a lot of options at the time. I was playing football, I was playing sports, I was in engineering. And I'll never forget this, man. My dad had picked me up from football practice one day, and he was just like, son, if you could do one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? Shout out to my dad, because I feel like he asked me that question for a very specific reason. He probably hates his life. Not like his family, but he probably hates what he does. It's just probably not what he wanted to do. It's just what he fell into, given his circumstances. So he was just like, yeah, son, if you could do one thing for the rest of your life, like, what would it be? And I thought about it. And when I actually thought about it for the first time, you could stop me from doing anything else except singing. Like, I just did not know how to shut up. Like, if I was sad, I'm singing. If I'm happy, I'm singing. If I'm mad, I'm singing or listening to some form of music. So that's when I knew, like, nah, this really my passion. I just never really saw a way to make a career out of it. Because when you're growing up, people don't teach you that. Like, yo, chase your dreams, go after what it is that you want out of life. They tell you, go to college, get a job. So, my dad just asked me that, put a lot into perspective. And when I figured it out, I kind of just went full steam ahead, man. Like, I started cutting grass so I could save up money to buy my own equipment. I didn't know how to record, but I taught myself how to do it. YouTube universities. And then, like, I started putting out music on SoundCloud. That's all I knew at the time. I didn't really know how to get my music on, like, Apple Music, Spotify, nothing like that. So, started putting out stuff on SoundCloud. People started listening. I started gaining some fans and supporters, and ended up winning this radio competition where they were listening to different people's songs, and chose a winner, and the winner would get played on, back in the DMV. 95.5 was one of the two biggest stations. So I ended up winning. And yeah, man, I went up there, had my song played the first time, and that was kind of like the start of, like, my music career.
Yeah, so it seems like maybe that gave you, like, a little bit of evidence. You like, I could do this. I could actually do this.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. Okay. So not so long after that, what was it, about 2016, you actually released your debut album, which you totally wrote and produced. So you said you were a student at YouTube University trying to figure out how to record your music. So how did you even get there? Like, what was that creative process like?
Oh yeah, man. So, like, making music has always kind of come natural to me. Like, ever since I started, when I get in the studio, I just be flowing. Like, it's just a flow that happens. And I don't always make all my beats. I know how to make beats, though. I definitely got some songs out there. People probably know that I did that, but yeah. I find a beat that I like, and then I just go off how I feel, come up with the lyrics after that, and just figure out which direction I'm trying to head in. And when I was making that album, it was kind of easy because all the songs were pretty much done. Some of them I just had to re-record on a better mic, because a lot of them I did with my makeshift studio that I had created back, when I was still on the come up. And some of them were new, again, it was just getting in the studio and doing what I do, and, letting the creativity flow out of me. So the first album turned out really good. I love it. I still want to do some songs off of there too, like redo them in the future, because it got some good songs on there. I was listening to it.
That re-release thing is a thing nowadays. Like, people want to re-release their old music. So I encourage you, please do.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. So since we're going behind the vibe, there may not be too many people who actually know who Shay Jenifer is. And so if you were to break down your artist identity into, like, 3 elements, like sound, visuals, and energy, like, what would that be to someone who's like, I'm being introduced to Shay?
I love that you asked that question, because I be streaming. So I talk about a lot of this stuff. But like, again, my 3 biggest musical influences, Chris Brown, Usher, and Michael Jackson. Honestly, and if you mix them 3, that's probably what you get out of me. Chris is my favorite artist overall. Again, he was my first introduction into, like, just the lane that I kind of wanted to be in. Chris, I just think performance-wise, like, he's the greatest performer I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes. I've seen him live twice, freaking amazing. And, it just sets the bar for, like, what I want to do, the dancing, the singing, the showmanship, just the entire presentation of what's going on. So that right there, Usher, when it comes to vocals, I think Usher is the greatest male vocal singer for me personally. His voice is smooth as butter. His choices are just amazing. And, I pulled a lot from Usher when it comes to vocally, like how I approach my songs, and then energy wise, Mike, he's the greatest of all time. Great, not the greatest. Witness it in person because he older than. But when I did my research, man, just the energy that man, his aura, like the energy and just the way that you approach this thing, man. Mike is the definition of excellence. And that's also how I approach my music career. I want to be excellent. I want things to be perfect. If I mess up, do it again. If I do good, but I feel like there's a better take, do it again. Just making sure everything is right, like the energy and just what I'm bringing to everything that I do is that Mike aura. So you mix them three together, that's what you get.
Oh, that was a perfect answer. And yes, I do agree. Like Mike is the consummate professional who I know influenced those earlier two artists that you just mentioned, Chris and Usher. I mean, yeah, Mike is just, yeah. And I share your sentiment too. I never got to see Mike live either. And I low key get made fun of by my family and friends as I was like, Mike died on me. I was on my way to London to that This Is It tour. I was really going to make my way. I would have had my passport a lot earlier. And that man died on me. But see, I felt like he made up for it in spirit because that movie This Is It released on my birthday. So I felt like that was his like, it's all right, girl. It's all right. Sorry for that sidebar, but yeah, so I would ask again for those who may not be as familiar with your catalog, what song would you recommend that they listen to really get a feel for who you are as an artist? Like if you could recommend like the song, which one would you recommend?
So this is kind of a tough question for me to answer, especially right now, because there are some things coming and I'm about to actually change my sound up a little bit, but from the shade Jenifer that you guys have gotten so far, I Love You. That is the song. That's my most recent song I just dropped. Such a good song, man. We talking R&B to the bone, man. It's a love song. It's talking about just how much you love somebody, and it's you just gotta listen to it. I can't even do justice sitting here talking about it. Y'all go listen to it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny that you bring that up because I wanted to ask you about that song, I Love You. I just discovered that track that you have released it earlier this year. And so it has like such a heartfelt vibe to it. And I must say, like the lyrics of the first verse, like really struck me. I think you really get into the essence of those who are like in that cycle of their life where they're looking for somebody, but like they might be a little afraid to open up. So what was the inspiration behind that song since you mentioned it? Look, you can keep it private, but if you want to spill the tea, spill the tea. Well, you can plead the fifth. You ain't got to say no names.
I plead the fifth.
Oh man!
Honestly, I'm gonna say like I wanted to make a love song, man. I just felt like a lot of people not singing about love as much anymore. Especially I see a lot of people all the time talk about, oh, men don't be in their feelings. They not singing about love anymore. Boom, 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 boom. So even if I'm pleading the fifth, there was also just a desire to make a song about love and falling and being able to be vulnerable, and that feeling of finding somebody that you feel like, oh shoot, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And when y'all both hear it, it's just like, okay, yeah, this is what love feels like. So,
well, shout out to whoever that lady is whose name you are pleading the fifth about, because man, can you do me a favor, do me a solid? Can you sing a little bit of that first verse for us? Because like I really love, like lyrically, it's very raw. So hopefully this will entice some folks to go ahead and check that single out. It's I will say it's my recent favorite of yours for sure. I was like listening to it on repeat.
Yeah, the first it go, how we end up in this position. I never thought that I would fall again. Our hearts were both on intermission. Still took a chance and let each other in. I listened, you opened up. Now my heart can't get enough. Being lonely is over. You got me forever. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. That both our hearts were intermission. Oof, Fire
Yeah,
line.
right. Like we both.
Fire line. Fire line. I can relate. I can relate. I can relate. Well, so speaking of like the R&B genre, you may mention that people were saying like, people don't, have the classic R&B men begging and singing about love anymore. So, a lot of people are also arguing that, R&B isn't as mainstream anymore. So I read that part of your artist mission is to kind of bring those elements of R&B back. So what, in your opinion, do you feel like R&B music is missing today?
I actually people are actually doing it. It's just we just don't have the support that R&B used to have, and I don't know if it's because the culture is changing and these new kids don't really care much for it. And unfortunately, the whatever generation is the prominent one in terms of like what's going on the internet and what's online. That's what's ultimately going to get the views and the clicks. So it's not that there are people doing R&B. I got a bunch of dope friends who are doing R&B. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a group called Phases. We kind of doing R&B too. Which that, if you want to talk about that too, I gave you the tea on that a little bit. But yeah, man, like people are doing it, but I just think R&B is in a place where it's not looked at as, oh, this is the genre. You know what I'm saying? Girls, it's a little easier for girls to do it, I feel. Guys, I think so. I think, women support women, men don't support men.
Okay. I can't argue with that. I agree.
Men support women and men. Like, women get both. It's hard for a man to get both because a lot of times dudes will hear you and they go, man, I don't like this. Or like, man, he gonna take my girl. Or, I don't know. Whatever the case is, they be hating. We be hating. So
like shooting them cherries, breaking up people's relationships.
Yeah, hating. So I just think it's hard for male R&B artists, man, to break in, even if they're doing it. And even if you do break in, man, I can't remember the last time a new artist has toured a stadium, off of R&B. So it's a tough genre, and low key, like even now, my new stuff, like I'm kind of heading in a different direction. Not because I don't love R&B. I love R&B, but I'm thinking big, man. I'm thinking Mike. I want to be Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like when I look at my career, I don't want to just be seen as, oh, he R&B artist, he can sing really good. I want to be known as like an icon. I want to be global. So just thinking bigger. Bruno Mars. Oh, that's another one of my big influences. I left him out. But lately, just over the past couple of years, I've been listening to a lot of Bruno and just seeing how he approaches his music and when he does as well. When he makes songs, they be for everybody. I feel like everybody can come on Bruno and catch a vibe to it. And even if you ain't this type of music, you're still going to find yourself nodding to something. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's interesting that you say that because I can see how you're headed in that direction because all of those influential artists that you named do have that crossover appeal. So they're not just pigeonholed to one genre of music. So yeah, I love that for you. And I'm so excited to kind of see how you evolve into that era. But if I could keep you in the R&B spiel, I hope you don't lose this part because I know particularly because the ladies love a good R&B male crooner to sing to us. But one of the things that I know I'm personally pretty nostalgic about is R&B videos. Like if you look at my TikTok profile, I literally say I want to fulfill my 90s R&B girl dreams. And so all the videos that you release, they have like that real R&B video, like nostalgic feel. So you got the little leading lady and like the serenades and a little bit of dancing. Like it feels like a throwback to what the R&B videos that at least I grew up on. At least I'm a millennial, so like millennials grew up on. So is that intentional? Like how do you approach like the concepts for like your music videos?
Yeah, no, that was very intentional, man. I just, again, wanted to bring back that feel because everybody's like, oh, man, ain't doing it. And it's just like, yes, we are. So let me show y'all that we still out here doing it. We just more light shed on it. If people really wanted to be brought back, we got to do our job. We got to do our part as a community as a whole. And again, it's tough when you fight an uphill battle against the new generation who don't really care for none of that. You know what I'm saying? They want to be turned up. They want songs that's going to get them lit. So, but yeah, it was definitely intentional, especially like the two of us. That's one of my favorite songs as well. Like if you want to listen to some Shay Jenifer, I definitely recommend that song right there. The two, it got everything. The talking in the beginning, the pleading at the end, we still here. It got, man, let me tell y'all something. That song right there. So yeah, just approaching it and trying to bring back that nostalgic feeling of dudes singing for their life. Like, singing for their girl to come back.
Clapping air,
Grab in the air.
Grab the air in the rain.
Yeah,
No, I love that you're really intentional about doing that. And I do personally feel like you said, like this generation is disconnected from that aspect of R&B, because I personally feel that as though like those mediums have left, like, the TRLs and the 106 and Parks, and,
right.
and again, I'm not as privy to the backside of the industry, but I know that a lot of labels and stuff, they're not putting as much money into like, conceptual videos anymore. And it could be, of course, and we'll get into this a little bit later, because of the rise of social media, right? And people having direct access to their artists. And so there's quote unquote no need for like that big media push of creating this big budget video for certain songs. But, I feel like personally, that's an element that I miss. I really do. It's very nostalgic. So it's very refreshing to see that you still want to keep that front of mind. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. I did want to further commend you on you exploring again all aspects of your craft, and you made mention of the R&B group Phases, and there's some notable artists in that group. So I'm of course highly curious about how did that group form and come about. Tell us about it.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Dennis. Desmond. He's one of my closest friends, my brother. And back a couple years ago when I was kind of blowing up on TikTok, me and my other bro Max, who's also in the group, we were cutting out bangers. We were singing just songs and going viral like every week on TikTok. And Desmond ended up, seeing one of our videos. So he flew us out to do a video with him and Tone, who was a really good friend of his. So, shout out to Tone Stiff, also my brother too.
Tone Stiff, yes.
So we did a Come and Talk to Me cover by Jodeci. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's on YouTube. And, it went like crazy viral. It did stupid well. And Tone and Desmond were also in a group prior called SJ3 with Kai Thompson. So, shout out to Kai. Shout out all the bros. Shout out to all of y'all, man.
Shout out to all.
So they were in a group before, and then me and my bro Max, we were also going to be in a group called Shade Cole. So we were working with Troy. Shout out to Troy Taylor OG. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely helping to pivot my career right now, and he's working real close with me, especially with everything about to come up. So we've been doing a lot of work. And me and Max were working with Troy doing this Shade Cole thing. Shade Cole ended up not working out for things that I won't even get into. It happened. Whatever happened. Still my bro. But basically, when Tone was able to start doing his own thing again, Desmond had called me up one day, and he was just like, bro, Tone free, I'm free, you free. We thinking about maybe doing a group thing like we had talked before, but it was just never feasible because, we all were kind of like in situations. We all had things going on, so we never could do it. But, again, after everything just kind of aligned for everybody, they called me, and they was like, all right, what we going to do? He's like, are we doing it? He's like, cool. But they wanted to also bring in Kai and Max, if it was, if we could make it work, because 5 is way better than 3. So especially when you're in a group setting, like you just do so much more with 5 people. You don't need background dancers because y'all all can dance. It's just different things that you can do. So we all hopped on the call. He's like, all right, man, we've been thinking about doing this. We all were in groups before, prior. We got the talent. It's a space for it. It's not a lot of R&B groups out there who probably can do what we do. So what we going to do? And that's kind of how Phases came apart. So we've been working really, on some really good stuff. And I'm excited for you guys to hear what we've been cooking up, because it's good too. And we kind of also we have a few R&B records, but we also taking that worldwide approach, because we do feel like, if done the right way, we can also be global as well. And it's not stopping anything that we all have going on individually. We kind of liken it to the Avengers, right? They're all their heroes on their own. You got Iron Man, you got Thor, you got Hulk, you got all these different pieces. But when they come together, they the Avengers. So that's kind of how we see it ourselves. Like we the R&B Avengers. Even though we
Avengers. Shout out to the R&B Marvel Universe. Yeah. That's amazing. And I love that. You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of like New Edition, right? Like how New Edition, they each have kind of formulated their own either solo or like subgroups and been able to come back together. So I love that aspect. One of the things that I love so far that you guys have done are a lot of those covers, because you can see just how in sync your voices are, which pun intended. I personally favorited that NSYNC "Oh Holy Night." That's one of my favorite Christmas joys. Y'all killed that arrangement. Fire, so fire. That is a really difficult arrangement to do personally. Like I'm just like blown away when I saw that because I'm an NSYNC stan. Like judge them out. I'm an NSYNC stan. I am very particular about people who want to cover some NSYNC songs. So the fact of the matter that y'all did that justice was just mind blowing. I was like, yo, they are fire. So if y'all haven't seen that, go on over to TikTok. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, I think
it's on YouTube, and go check some of their covers out. You guys also cover like Boys to Men. You mentioned Jodeci as well. Please go listen to them. Like I promise you, these boys are truly on a mission, just like the Avengers, like you said. Like I'm so excited. So are you hinting that there may be a project releasing, or at least a formal single coming pretty soon from Phases?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Is it this year? How long are you making us wait?
Yes. We definitely shooting for this year. It's just things finna happen, and I wish I could tell y'all about that too, but I legally cannot say what's finna happen. So, yeah, man. But we definitely are trying to shoot for later this year to drop some stuff for you guys.
I love it. I'm willing to wait. I feel like it's going to be worth the wait. So you mentioned Troy Taylor too, who's like super producer. And so he actually produced your track, the one that you mentioned before, The Two of Us. Can you take us behind the vibe and share a little bit more about how that collaboration came together and what's the story behind that song? You gonna plead the fifth on that one too?
Oh, no.
Okay. I was like, if it's a girl, are we?
So yeah, Troy, shout out to OG, man. Again, he kind of, since I've been out here in Atlanta, he's been like my music mentor. He took a shot on me, man. He ain't know me. When I moved out here, I ain't had nothing but my car. So I was just trying to figure out a way, to get my foot in. And I knew that he worked with, up and coming artists. Who he felt had potential. So I sent him some of my stuff, and he told me pull up to his studio. The first thing Troy ever said to me was, "All right, get to work." Okay. I came to his studio. He ain't say hi, none of that. I went downstairs, and he came downstairs and gave me some beats to choose from. After I picked ones I like, he's like, "All right, get to work," and left. It was hilarious. But he liked what he heard, because ever since we've been locked in ever since, man, and he's definitely like a second father figure for me. Away from home, especially in the music industry, like to have somebody who really is looking out for you, who has been in it, who has seen, everything pretty much, and who can really guide you in the right direction is priceless. So shout out to Troy. But yeah, this was back when The Two of Us came out, when I was kind of just getting back into my artistry, because I had quit for a little bit. Going through some personal life drama. I was going to stop singing, and I was just going to be on like the writing scene, because I still love music, so I was just going to write songs for people. But I started blowing up on TikTok, and so I had posted a song snippet on there. It went crazy. Count Me Out, which was the first song me and Troy ever put out together, and it's also my biggest song to date. It's a really good song too. Y'all should check it out. So basically after that blew up, Troy was like, let's keep it going. So that's how The Two of Us kind of came about. I was also dealing with something around that time, and I just wanted to make a song about how I was feeling, and I wanted to make an R&B. I wanted to plead. I was like, nah, if I'm gonna do this song right here, I got to be pleading. I need her to feel me. Yeah. So, and I wanted to do that old school. That I forget what it's called, but just that style of tempo. And I actually kind of got the idea from that one Chris Brown song. I know you've been waiting. I'm messing up the words, but you know what song I'm talking about? It's called Sleep. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I heard that, and that's kind of where I got the inspiration for The Two of Us. So we was in the studio. Troy was cooking up, and my boy Shane Rocket. Troy works with a bunch of dope producers, so Shane was there. Shane played some chords, and then Troy added the beat, and then the song just came together. And then I was in there. I started writing with some of my bros. Devin was in there. Devin Culture. Shout out to my brody as well. We got something coming for y'all this year too. Devin was in there. My boy Upstairs was in there. Another dope singer songwriter who got his own music out. Vaughn. It we had a bunch of hitters in there for that song. So that's probably why it turned out so good, because it was a lot of people who worked on that, man, and they really helped to bring my vision to life. So yeah, it was a story about how you felt like you messed up with somebody and you want them back. And you reminiscing, it's like, we still be on the phone late night cutting up, we still be kissing and drifting into love, missing you over and over again, you still be here with me making memories, the two of us. It came out really
You gotta sing. You know what? Insert the name of that lady on the bus when she like, yeah, we'll make you do one of those.
it's a real sensual song, man. Some real ish in there. So yeah.
I love that. Thank you, Shay. So I want to talk more about again your evolution as an artist, and I want to talk more about your producing relationship with Troy. So, are we to expect some newer music or collaborations with you and Troy for the projects you have coming up?
Yeah. This new stuff. I'm so excited for y'all to hear it, man. Like, and granted, if you watch my streams, you probably heard some of it already. But man, this new stuff. Yeah. I'm so excited, man, for you guys to meet the new and improved. I call it new and improved because, you know, I'm approaching my music again, thinking from a global aspect now, and I'm trying to make songs, you know, not just for me, but for everybody, that everybody can vibe to. And you know, I definitely feel like we have accomplished that and then some with this new music that we got. So I'm looking forward to you guys hearing it, man. I'm super excited to see what it's going to look like. And I also think, you know, like just with the videos and stuff too, by the time I drop, you know, I should have some stuff going on and be able to really give you guys the full Shay Jenifer experience. So I'm eager.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you've been making mention already about your presence in streaming on TikTok, which, you know, right now is a very powerful platform for a lot of, you know, up and coming artists today. So what's it like sharing some of your artistry in real time through streaming?
Man, I love it. It's so much fun. You know, being able to show your followers and people who listen to you and support you, show them the process of, you know, just what you do. Like yesterday, man, I'm about to post it today too, but yesterday I did a Lady in My Life cover because they tried to say that was the worst song on Thriller, and I said, y'all better put some respect on
you better put some respect on his name. I saw that post too.
So yeah, we got a Lady in My Life cover dropping today because they had Mike messed up. But I did that on live, and you know, it was cool. Like they got to watch me. They got to watch just how much of a perfectionist I am, how I stack my vocals, how I will do a take 50 times until I get it right because I just know what it's capable of. Like I'm one of them guys, and it's crazy because I feel like I record how Michael Jackson recorded back in the day. You can do it good, but if you feel like, nah, it could be better, or there's another, you know, the tone, the texture, how I'm singing it, you know, there's a lot of things that people don't get to see. So when I'm doing that on stream, they get to literally see all of that and see the creative process. And I think it's so much fun.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, you don't feel like vulnerable engaging like TikTok live with your creative process? It like, has it had any impact at all? Because you know, some artists are really sensitive, a la Erykah Badu. She said, "I'm sensitive about my ish," right? Like, so, like, you know, so being live and having people to like take in, and again, it's not even finished yet, right? You're in the process of that. Doesn't intimidate you at all?
Nah, if anything, I think it makes them kind of appreciate you more, like, because a lot of artists don't show that, you know, they won't show them messing up, or they won't show them, you know, just creating. I feel like a lot of artists also like to be secretive with their stuff, and I do to a degree, but I also just love to be raw and authentic with, you know, my supporters. So I don't mind every once in a while. They don't get to see everything, like I haven't showed them everything, but every once in a while I don't mind like getting on there and, you know, letting them be a part of the process. Like they've actually kind of helped me write some songs sometimes. That's another thing. Like you might be on live and you stuck and they start spitting bars in the comments. It's like, oh, hold up. let me try that. And it ends up fire. So like, you know, I've had a bunch of moments that I've built with my supporters just from being on there and interacting with them. And it makes them appreciate you even more. Like, you know,
Yeah,
I,
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Yeah. So, in your opinion, just speaking generally, do you feel like TikTok is maybe helping or hindering like this resurgence of R&B?
it's weird because on one end I do see like there's TikTok videos that go viral all the time about R&B and just how people miss it, but
Mhm.
it doesn't really like it never sticks. It gets love for like a moment, but then it's like okay, the honeymoon phase is over. Back to
Mhm.
and there's a lot more BS on TikTok than it is like real R&B music. So I think it does help shed a light. TikTok, that algorithm. Even though there are some things wrong with the app, that algorithm is amazing if
Mhm.
it catches. So like just the other day, I seen my bros Walmart, man. I saw them. They was singing "Heaven Can Wait" by Michael Jackson on TikTok. They don't got 33 million views,
Oof.
and yeah, I was like, God, look at the little bros going crazy,
Mhm.
and they singing like that's R&B. So TikTok did that,
Mhm.
pushed it out to 33 million people. So I definitely can say like I do feel like TikTok helps. I just wish the help it provided would stick a little more than it does because it seems like it comes and then it leaves.
Right. It kind of has like this short stay, like it ebbs and flows. Yeah. It doesn't have like the longevity. Okay. All right. So outside of your recent projects and the projects that perhaps are forthcoming with phases, are there any other things that perhaps you're working on or that you maybe want to further pursue?
I would like to get into more acting.
Oh,
Or not, yeah. I feel like I'm a character, and I think I could be really good in somebody's music show or TV show, like anything. Like throw me in something. I
okay.
can do it. So I definitely would like to pursue acting a little bit more.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, outside of that, now I just really focused on the music. Like I'm locked in. I'm taking a lot of this time to really prepare for what's coming, and for what's gonna happen in my life in a couple of months, man. And I'm just like, yeah, I gotta be ready. I gotta be all the way ready.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be straying too far off course because there are a lot of artists that cross over into acting as well, not only in R&B but hip hop as well. So, just curious, what would be your ideal role? Like, what do you see yourself, or what type of show or movie would you see yourself in?
Man, I'm trying to be the Black Spider Man. I want to be Miles Morales, something like Marvel hit
Not
me up.
the real live action, not the cartoon.
Yeah, like live action.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would do that. Shoot, I love action movies. I do feel like I could be in like a little drama series too. So something like The Shot. I don't know.
That's where
Yeah,
I'm at, Chicago. I can see you on the Shine. I definitely
yeah.
can see you on the
I
Shine.
could, I could pull that off. I think I could I could do a lot of things because I do know how to act a little bit. So
Okay.
any role, I think I can nail it.
I'm saying, well, for any perhaps people looking for actors out there, hit up our boy over here. All right, Shay, we're gonna get into a little bit of fun in a minute, but before we do that, I want you to let our Slow Jams fam know how they can connect with you and your music if they're seeing and witnessing you for Behind the Vibe for the first time.
Yeah, man. If y'all want to check me out and follow the journey and everything that's about to happen, all my socials, Shay Jenifer, SHADEJENIFER. You see it's spelled just the same how it is right there. And that's pretty much everything. Nobody has my name except my father. So, yeah, man, you should be able to find me pretty easy. And again, so many great things on the way. And I cannot wait to show you guys what Shay Jenifer is cooking up in the year 2025. It's going to be a good one.
I love that. I love that. It's time to get to know Shay Jenifer a little bit better. And what better way to do that than with some R&B games? So first, we're going to play a game of this or that with some of your music favorites. And the rules are that you have to pick one, no explanation required unless you're asked, Shade. Okay.
Okay.
So ready to play?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So this is the this or that game R&B edition. All right. So you told us earlier that some of your inspirations were Usher and Chris Brown. So we've got a culmination of some of your influences in here that we want to ask you about. So first, Usher's Confessions or My Way?
Confession.
Okay. Yeah or Burn?
Burn.
You Got It Bad or Nice and Slow?
Ooh, that's a tough one. No. I gotta go. You got it back. I gotta go. Yeah, that intro is just, I can't pass that up.
Okay, so you got it bad. All right. So which would you rather hear from Usher's in EDM era? Because you know he went into that whole EDM, right?
Yes.
The crossover. All right.
One of my favorite Usher eras. Yeah.
Okay. So would you rather DJ Got Us Falling in Love or Oh My God?
Ooh, that's a tough. Oh, I gotta choose one.
You gotta choose one. No explanation unless I ask.
Ooh, this tough. I love both of them songs. Maybe the love, maybe God's falling in love again. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Okay,
He's stuck. He is stuck.
I think this is not fair. If we not playing this game, I'm taking both of them. But if I had to choose one, I think I gotta go. Oh my gosh! I love.
I'm gonna let you have an explanation on this one. Why? Oh my God!
The arrangement. That was one of that's an EDM song that breakdown in the middle of it. Baby, let me lay you down. So many ways to love you, baby. I can break you down. He's like he slid. So that section right there, and then yeah, I gotta go. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I would agree. Yeah. I would agree because I feel like that breakdown was like an homage to the R&B because he kind of slowed it down a little bit. Yeah,
both. Yeah,
yeah. Okay, all right. Let's move on to Chris. This or that. Chris Brown's Fame or Indigo?
Fame.
Okay. Forever or With You?
With You.
Okay. No Guidance with Drake or Go Crazy with Young Thug?
No Guidance.
Right.
I want Chris Brown to drop a collab tape. I feel like it would be awesome. It would be amazing. They need to do.
Yeah, I can see that. So Chris Brown's early 2000s vibe or his modern R&B pop fusion?
Man, see, I'm a little biased because that early that's what made me fall in love with music for real. That first Chris Brown album, man, perfect, like flawless. Then the second one that had Say Goodbye, Take You Down, Wall to Wall, like Chris, like he wanted like them first three, four albums. My God, that man was in his bag. But I also love the new Chris too. Like the new Chris got bangers as well. But yeah, I'm biased, so I'm just that early I just had too many memories with the early 2000s. Man, he had some bangers.
All right, we'll take it. All right, so here's a bonus. Yeah by Usher or Run It by Chris Brown?
Run It.
Okay. Usher and Alicia Keys' My Boo or Chris Brown and Jordan Sparks' No Air?
Air.
Ooh, easy. He said that quick. Wow.
That's one of the greatest duo songs of all. They did what had to be done on that song right there.
Yeah, you feel
Alicia Keys too, but that No Air. Yeah.
I'm partial. I like My Boo better than No Air personally.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I do.
I can see people going the other way too.
Yeah, I mean, I like No Air because I feel as though Jordan Sparks is another one of those R&B artists that don't get enough notoriety for her vocal ability. I mean, even her new track, but I digress. But I don't know. It's just something about My Boo that was just like it captured that era too when it was released really, really well, while kind of ushering it, so it doesn't feel old. Like no matter how you hear it, so
classic. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's get into some production. So would you take Jermaine Dupri on Usher's Confessions or would you take Scott Storch on Chris Brown's Run It?
Jermaine.
Okay. Why?
Just man, Confessions. That's just one of the greatest R&B albums of all time.
Totally agree.
Greatest art, yeah. Can't go wrong with that.
Hands down.
They was in a bag.
For sure. For sure, for sure. All right, one more. Brian Michael Cox on Usher's You Got It Bad, or the Underdogs on Chris Brown's Yo, Excuse Me Miss?
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh, we got you again.
Ooh. Brian Michael Cox is a legend, man. And so are the Underdogs. They got hits too.
Hits.
Dang. Oh dang, I think I'm stuck again. Cause yo, that was my first introduction into R&B, man. I love that song. Yo, tell me fellas have seen it was about 5 minutes ago when I seen hottest chick that a young never seen before. Said yo, tell the girls I wanna meet her. Like I love that song.
Sound like you picking to me.
I think I gotta start by saying, yeah. I think I gotta go with yo.
Okay. I would agree with that. I love You Got It Bad, but I feel like Yo was, like you said, a great introduction to Chris Brown. And for the same reasons, like those elements of like the video, like the old to Michael Jackson, like chasing the girl down the street and dancing. Yes, very The Way You Make Me Feel. I'm like, yes.
Bringing that feel back. Yeah, man. That's one of my favorite Chris Brown songs still to this day. All
right. Okay, Slow Jams fans, do you agree with Shade's pick? Comment below and tell us what your picks are. This next game is R&B Confessions. All right, we listen and we don't judge. Get it? We listen and we don't judge. But all right, Slow Jams fan, it's time for some R&B confessions. And remember, this is a judgment-free zone. We listen, we vibe, and we don't judge.
Please
all right?
Don't judge me.
Shay, are you ready to confess?
I'm ready to confess.
All right. So my first question: what's one R&B song that you secretly love but you'll never admit?
I don't even know if I have any. I feel like any R&B song I love, I ain't scared to admit it.
Okay. Well, maybe something that's not as like widely popular as you would maybe think people would.
Not as popular. You actually know what? I do have some.
Okay. I'm listening.
The reason I won't admit it is because he's in jail.
I think I know you better say.
But that man got his.
Go ahead, say it. He from
I can't say. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. That man got his, but because of circumstances, I would never admit to listening to it or that I like it because I just can't. Even if it's good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, I think about like, man, if I had a daughter, dude. So I just can't. But yeah, that's my answer for that.
Okay, well, which one? Which one of those Batman who still remain nameless?
Oh, matter of fact, the one Michael Jackson was dancing into in the car like this.
Oh, Ignition.
Yeah.
Oh, remix to Ignition. Matter of fact, oh yo, that meme of him dancing in that car is so
Mike was in his bag, boy.
He was in that backseat cutting up.
Oh, it's crazy.
That is funny. All right, we'll take it. I'm sure you're not the only person that would confess to that. All right. So, second confession. What is the most played R&B song on your playlist right now?
Ooh, right now?
Mm-hmm.
My song. Fun fact, I don't even really listen to other people's songs like that anymore.
Really?
Yep, because of Troy. And it was back when, you know, I first started working with him. And he was just like, you got to stop listening to your favorite artist. I was like, why? He's like, because you got to find your sound. If you just keep listening to other people, you're going to probably take from them. You know, that's why people call you Chris Brown Jr. or Usher, because you listen to them. So it shows in your music. But if you want your own sound, you can't listen to them as much. So I don't really listen to my favorite artists as much anymore. If they drop something new, I'll check it out. But I don't like have it on repeat. You know, so I really only listen to my stuff. And, you know, out of my most recent songs, I Love You is just been on repeat.
I can
Yeah.
understand that. I can understand that. All right. Okay. And shout out to Troy. That's some really good advice, actually. You want to kind of like consecrate your ears, right? So that you're not.
Artists out there, yeah, like any artists out there that you trying to like, do this for real, try not listening to your favorite artist just for a little while and discover what your sound is. Like, who are you as an individual? And it makes a difference for sure.
Yeah. And I'm sure it probably frees like the pressure too, because you like, well, I have to sound like, or this is what's hot right now, and making you feel like you have to go in that direction. Right. I understand. Okay.
I video sometimes like, what would Chris do? Or what
Mm.
would I had to get out of that. So yeah, now when I record, it's just like, what do I want to do?
Yeah, yeah. That's the best place to be. I love that. All right. So let's confess. What's one R&B song you choose to serenade someone on a first date?
Um, ooh,
Tune in, ladies.
a song that I would sing to a girl on the first date.
And you
Here we are all alone in this room. That's a go-to. I be singing that all the time.
you gonna take her down on the first date?
And what we gonna do? If we on a date, you already know what time it is. If I'm on a date with they already know what's up. Like, we already there. We ain't going out if we not there already. So
Clutching my pearls. Jeez. All right, well, ladies, if ever you have the privilege of running into Shay Jenifer and you hear that you already know what time it is. You already know. Okay. All right. Let's confess. If you were to bring back one R&B group for a reunion tour, who would it be and why?
ooh, R&B group for a reunion tour. Ooh, that's a good question. Dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
I would love to see the Jackson 5, man.
Oh, that is a good answer.
I would love to see they just staple. I would love to get to see them. Um, Shoot, even like the Temptations in their prime.
Mm.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just a man. I'm a Michael Jackson geek, so I would love to see like the Jackson 5, man, when they was in the swing of things.
So I'm sure you've probably seen that meme of like Michael looking at Randy crazy because he just kept body rolling. He wouldn't stop. To be a fly on the wall in that dressing room, my God, because they didn't talk no more after that.
Yeah. Or that one meme when they was singing the song and then Mike just slid into the frame and got in front of one of his brothers. Hilarious. I just know they had fun on stage though.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
that's the great thing about groups, man. Like, even again with phases, I can't wait to really start doing stuff with them because just the moments that y'all can have on stage and interacting with the fans. The group stuff is really fun if you with the right people, man. You just got the right elements around it. So yeah. Definitely fire though.
Listen, sign me up. I want to be front row for Phases joint. Okay, I think that would be phenomenal. Y'all could bring that kind of boy band group fanaticism back because I feel like that's what's wrong with this generation. They need somebody to focus on.
Right, it's too much to focus on. That's the problem.
Too much. I'm like, who are you dedicated to? It's like, huh. All right, okay. Let's continue to confess. What's one R&B lyric you've definitely sung wrong for years?
I just was doing this the other because I did the Lady in My Life cover the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It was a word in there. I had no idea that's what he was saying.
Which was it?
Which what was it? I'm trying to remember the part. It was either on the breakdown part. I'm having such a hard time remembering what it was.
I'm gonna let you there. Go ahead.
I've been wrong the entire time though, and I didn't know that's what he was saying.
Did the chat tell you?
Yeah, they did.
They said, Shade, you singing that wrong.
That is not the right word. I was like, it's not. Yeah, definitely. It's a few Michael songs that happened to me with. That's just having a hard time remembering what it is. But,
oh yeah, until like you hear it. Oh, go ahead, you got it.
I think I got it. What's that one song? Don't stop till you get enough. Thank you. It's I think in the first verse I was singing something fever. I was singing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that fever temperature's rising now. What is the word there? What is the correct word?
Which of the first line when he first opens the song?
Yeah,
I thought it was fever too.
that's the second one.
Oh, you know
I forget
what?
what the first one is.
Let me go find out. Look, hold please.
Yeah, fever temperature's rising now. Here we go. Okay.
You can keep on because the force it's got a lot of power and it makes me feel like it makes me
Oh, this is one of my favorite songs. Okay.
What do you think it is? You remember?
Nope.
It's lovely.
Okay, yes. I think I used to say love me. I didn't know it was lovely.
I think I might have said love me too, but it's lovely. But he's saying it like lovely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
I did that
mm-hmm.
a lot. Like a lot of times he wouldn't fully pronounce his words, so you don't really know what he was saying, but you could feel it though.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So since you said yours, I said mine because I thought it was really funny. And I was like, it's one of my favorite songs. I was like, yo, D'Angelo's My Lady. On
Yeah.
that little, what is it, like a sub bridge? The dun, 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 dun. I don't know what I thought he was saying. I used to just mumble through that part, but somebody was like, he's saying, I can tell they're looking at us.
Yeah.
I had no idea that's what he was saying. I was just literally mumbling my way through. I was like, no, you know what I thought he was saying? I think I was saying like something. I can tell there's something in love or something like that. I had no idea. I was singing it wrong, loud and wrong, loud
I
and wrong.
knew what he was saying there.
Yeah.
I sing that song sometimes, so I had to learn what he was saying. But yeah, that I could see how you would get that misconception.
Because I just felt like it was muffled. I don't know if the track was just too loud. I was like, what the heck is he saying? I mean, because I love that. Dun, 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 dun,
Mhm.
and I was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to groove my way through. You just don't know. You just pretend. So, all right, Slow Jams fam. That is our lyrics that we were singing wrong. Which lyrics have you been singing wrong? Go ahead and comment down below in the comments. All right, I got two more for you. All right, confess. What is the cheesiest R&B song that you unapologetically vibe to?
Cheesiest R&B song that I love. Oh, the cheesiest one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go through my
Look through your playlist. I don't blame you.
playlist. Oh, the cheesiest R&B song.
And cheesiest is, of course, subjective.
Right, it's very subjective. Yeah, I don't really listen to a lot of cheesy stuff, but if I had like a guilty pleasure,
Yeah, there you go.
if I had like a guilty pleasure, I mean, shoot, people might think this cheesy. I still like it though. I be listening to like, and again, I grew up back on this kind of music, but like, hey, my girl, she loved me. Is that considered R&B?
Yeah.
I love that song. Hey, my girl, she loved me. They need to go on a reunion tour too. They need to go ahead and just go on a reunion tour. I feel like girls will eat it up. Boy.
Oh yeah. What's the name of that boy group? It started with a B. Oh, child, I forgot. I didn't listen to them.
P5.
B5, that's right. I was like B something. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I
Uh,
like these songs from back in the day. Yeah, I still be cranking them sometimes because again, that's I grew up on it. So
same. Yeah, I think you know what that's true because a lot of people thought that whole 2000s boy band era, especially like black boy bands, was kind of cheesy.
I thought
But
it was
like
cheesy.
I rocked with it. I love like I still bang that B2K joint. That Pandemonium
Yeah.
fire album to me. I still play a couple of joints off of that because it kept us rocking. So I'm not mad at that. All right, last confession. What's one R&B artist that you've been meaning to listen to but you haven't gotten around to yet?
Shoot, I kind of everybody that come up on my radar, I kind of checked them out already. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it's anybody I haven't listened to, but somebody I've been listening to like lately.
Mm-hmm.
Leon Thomas, man, he dope.
Very.
He dope. He got some good songs.
Okay.
So I've been tight.
What's the track that's caught your attention from Leon Thomas?
Oh, I love his Mud. I love Mud. That's my song right there.
Yeah, that's a vibe. That's a
I
vibe.
be thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he got some good stuff. I'm trying to think who else. There's a lot of talented artists out here, man. Shout out my bro Josh Levi too. Josh Levi, he got some great music. So I've been checking him out recently too. It's a lot of good up in Zay Friends. He another dope dude who I've been listening to a song he got. I forget what is it called? Stop with your legs in the air. Ain't something I'm taking you there. It kind of go like that, but he got some good stuff, man. My bro Davin got good stuff. Like again. That's why I would maybe like, man, ain't really singing. Nah, we out here. We just need the platform.
Yes, we gotta go find them. Yeah. So we're glad that you found us. Yeah, so that we can let more people know that, Shay Jenifer is part of that crew of men who's bringing it back to the OG original R&B that we all know and love. So thank you so much for sharing your confession, Shay.
Yes, that was fun.
All right. Again, Slow Jams fam, I want you to drop your R&B confessions in the comments. And remember, we listen and we don't judge. Okay, maybe a little. But drop it down in the comments. All right. And that's what happens when we go behind the vibe. I want to say a huge thanks to Shay Jenifer for sharing your story, your music, and your energy with us for today. You heard it here first, Slow Jams fans. So make sure to keep up with Shay's journey and stream and follow his latest tracks, on all those social media platforms. And to everyone that's tuning in, I want to thank you for jamming with us. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share this episode with somebody who needs to see it. And make sure you follow us so that you never miss a Behind the Vibe. Until next time, keep it slow, keep it smooth, and keep it soulful. This is Tati. I'm signing out. Peace and love. Till next time.
Nothing but slow jams coming through the speakers right now. Pandora got you heated right now.